If anyone watches my videos, they will know that I'm a qualified archaeologist, and archaeology, history and heritage is a big part of my life, but professional actor as well. Now, this burglary at St Fagans Museum of Welsh Life, or whatever they call it these days, was reported to the police at 12:30 on the 6th of October. And what they've stolen is some very valuable, not in the sense of its gold value, but its heritage value, treasures from the Bronze Age. Now, this gold itself is something that is extremely important in the sense that we don't have much gold surviving from the Bronze Age, even though it was mined extensively in Cymru, Wales. Now, although this is an absolute tragedy, the reality is that gold will probably never be seen again. It will be melted down by the thieves, and that was it. It was a planned heist. However, as much as I feel this, and as much as it's tragedy, I've got no sympathy for the National Museum of Wales. Decades ago, we used to have one of the finest collections of archaeology on display anywhere in the United Kingdom. The archaeology galleries at the National Museum of Wales were brilliant. They told a story. It was really intriguing, all the artifacts that they had on display. A mixture of Bronze Age gold work like this, Neolithic flints, Roman pottery, and so on, medieval jugs. But now that's been reduced to a very poorly put together collection of heritage and history displayed at the St Fagans National Museum of Wales location. And security in such a modern building, well, you go there and it's glass everywhere, and it doesn't take much for somebody to chuck a brick through the window and they're into these valuable heritage displays. And I'm not saying, well, I'm going to say it serves the National Museum of Wales right at St Fagans that they've lost this gold. By reducing the value of our heritage in Cymru, Wales, this is what's happened. You put so little on display. Do you know, at the National Museum of Wales in Cardiff, back in the day, now, if you look at the National Museum of Wales in Cardiff, it's a massive building, you know, copper, solid doors to get in there, and with walk-in security 24/7, right? National Museum of Wales building in Cardiff. To steal anything from there was really going to be difficult anyway before you even start. But St Fagans, it's in a rural location, security is limited, and it's not going to be very difficult to steal anything from there. And they've got reports of things being stolen there in the past anyway. But smack bang in their archaeological displays, which is really puny, the archaeology has been stolen. And they were asking it to happen. They were telling thieves this is an open invitation to steal our history of Cymru, Wales, melt it down, and we're going to lose it forever. Right? This has to be a warning that we cannot reduce the value of our heritage by placing them in glass cabinets in a rural location, really vulnerable. This is going to happen again. You need to put it back on display in our main museum in Cardiff so that more people can see it. Now, if you go to St Fagans, very few people can get to St Fagans unless you've got a car. National Museum of Wales in Cardiff is the archaeological display in its true glory as it used to be in the past. But now, you just got a few cabinets, not much is on display, and you're asking for this stuff to be stolen. I've got no sympathy for the National Museum of Wales, Cymru, and but nothing's going to change, is it? And also, security at St Fagans is really limited by the amount of cost cutting they've had with security staff there anyway. So something has to be done. But is this going to be a wake-up call for the heritage, the history, the archaeological movement in Cymru, Wales? No, because most of it is totally and utterly spineless. It allows the likes of the Elysig Pillar to be eroded out in the open, and nobody cares about it. So as far as I'm concerned, right, this gold stolen at the National Museum of Wales, it serves the National Museum of Wales right for it being stolen in the first place. It's on the National Museum of Wales, Cymru, that the gold was stolen. It's on them, it's on the staff, it's on the organisation of the National Museum of Wales, and the lack of funding and the lack of care and heritage that we've got for our heritage in Cymru. I know what I'm talking about. I've been doing this over 40 years. I've lived and breathed this, right? There you go. Thank you very much.